Hello, and welcome to Requirements Management in Kovair. First, a little bit about some of the changes and challenges facing requirements management today. It is now common to have multiple groups of stakeholders distributed across geographic locations involved in the requirements management process. In order to facilitate a collaborative requirements management process, anywhere, anytime access is required. A web-architected tool is ideal in meeting this need. Another thing that is happening is the transition from managing requirements using documents to managing those requirements using a tool. Kovair facilitates this by allowing us to import our existing requirements documents into an easily manageable database. Once we have our requirements stored in this tool, we can automatically generate documents as necessary. Kovair allows us to manage requirements by a collaborative web-based workflow process. Tasks for the users involved in this process are delivered automatically based on their role. These tasks can be seen in the Kovair application, and users could be notified via email if desired. A consistent automated process helps to eliminate errors and improves quality. Requirements can be traced across all phases of the application or product lifecycle. Requirements can be traced to items such as tests, defects, and risks. Using this traceability, we can perform both proactive and reactive impact analysis. Here is a brief comparison of some of the benefits of managing requirements with a tool versus the document. First, version management. With a document, we typically check out and version the entire document, whereas with a tool, we can easily version individual requirements. With a document, traceability management is normally a manual process. As the number of requirements grows, maintaining this manual traceability becomes time-consuming and error-prone. Through use of the tool, this process can become automated and allow us to reduce errors and maintain total traceability even for large projects. We can also do automated impact analysis and orphan analysis. Maintaining requirements in Kovair's central data repository allows us to generate multiple types of reports, including graphical reports. With a document, gaining insight into the status of our requirements process is much more difficult. Managing with documents, we face the difficulty that only one person at a time can edit the document, or we have the tedious task of merging changes. With a tool, stakeholders can edit requirements individually, and multiple people may be reviewing and commenting on those requirements. With a large number of stakeholders, this becomes an increasingly important feature to have. Immediate visibility of the changes and comments being made to requirements speeds up this collaborative process. Finally, we come to scalability. Document-centric tools often have technical limitations in handling large number of requirements. Kovair's relational database backend is highly scalable and can handle millions of records if needed. We can capture requirements a number of ways, from documents like Microsoft Word or Excel, directly from the Kovair application, through our web API, and even through email. Kovair fully supports rich text for describing the requirements, including images and tables. Versioning, cloning, and reuse of requirements are supported with features such as version diagram, version comparison, branching and merging of versions. There are also flexible views and filters. These views and filters are completely user customizable and include grouped and hierarchical views, as well as document-style views. Kovair allows us to manage traceability between requirements and other entities through features like hierarchical traceability views, traceability matrix view, traceability network diagram, and impact analysis. Baselining of requirements is supported along with collaborative requirements ranking and rating, automatic review and approval processes, automatic generation of fully formatted Microsoft Word documents, and dashboarding, providing both graphical and textual metrics. Thanks for watching so far. We'll now continue to a tour of requirements management in Kovair. I previously mentioned that Kovair is web-based. Unlike some other so-called web-based tools, Kovair is 100% web architected. There is no client software to install, either for end users or for administration and configuration. Let's log in. The first page we'll come to on logging in is the dashboard. Dashboards allow us to see at a glance what's happening in real time. You'll see various reporting widgets in this requirements management dashboard. Requirements submission and closure trends, distribution of criticality versus the assigned priority, distribution by status, source, approval trend, and status versus criticality. The dashboard is much more than just a report or picture. We can drill down with a mouse click to view and edit the items behind the graph. Dashboards are fully configurable with various types of graphical and tabular reporting widgets. These reports and dashboards are created simply by mouse click. No coding is required to create dashboards. Users can be given access to any number of dashboards, either individually or by their access group. Today, I will start by importing a customer requirements document. For this document, I'm using a predefined template to control how items are parsed from the document and uploaded into Kovair. First, I will associate a template with this document. Next, I will synchronize the document. On synchronization of the document, the Word file is uploaded into the document entity and linked with the imported requirements automatically. I'll set my document type field as combined requirements. My document will then be automatically placed into a predetermined folder in the document's entity. I can see the items that were uploaded simply by clicking the Show Items button in the Kovair toolbar. Here, you can see our document uploaded into Kovair. You'll notice that Kovair is tracking both the version and the requirements linked to this document. The hierarchy of requirements can be maintained from the document. We can even relate items between documents. I'll edit one of these newly imported requirements in Kovair. Now, simply by synchronizing the documents once more, you'll see the changes reflected back in our document. Now that we have imported our requirements, let's take a look at how we can work with them. On the left side, you'll see the navigation menu for a basic ALM solution. The menu has been organized into logical groups based on typical workflow. The requirements management group gives us access to the entities we use for requirements management. These entities may also appear in other groups as well. For instance, the change request entity also appears under change management. Views and filters allow us to control both what items are to be displayed as well as how we wish to view these items. This standard view shows a typical suggested view for this entity. Views can be created or modified to suit user needs. A user may have access to any number of views with control over what fields are displayed, how items are ordered, and how they're grouped. An example of a grouped view, grouped by requirement status, will display our requirements in groups based on their status. You can expand these groups to see their contents. Multi-level grouping, for example, group by project and release, is also supported. In addition to user-configurable types of views, there are also special inbuilt views to give access to special functions. For instance, the process view shows what process and who is currently assigned to the tasks related to an item. Filters give us fine-grained controls over what items are displayed. Filters may be fixed, or parameters may be entered at runtime. As with most items in Kovair, authorized users or administrators can create their own filters. Either simple criteria based on field values or advanced criteria based on the result of a complex expression may be used to create a filter. Text is searchable for both the title and description of a requirement. ID search allows us to search based on the IDs of the records. This search provides intelligent features as well. For example, if I type last 5, the last 5 items are displayed. Folders provide a convenient way to both organize and control access to items. We can drag and drop items into folders. Users can be given access to folders, either individually or in groups. Multi-edit mode allows editing from a list of items without actually opening the item. We can operate on multiple items at once, or simply click and change fields from here. Next, let's take a look at document generation. Documents can be treated like a type of report. Predefined templates can be used to generate requirements documents of different types. These documents are generated complete with formatting, rich text, images, tables, etc. We'll automatically generate a requirements document for a particular project. This document will contain both business and functional requirements. And here's our completed SRS document. You'll notice the document is complete with table of contents, images, tables, and rich text. Another example of an automatically created document, this test compliance report spans entities, providing both the requirement data and the test runs made to verify those requirements. As you can imagine, manually creating and maintaining an up-to-date version of a document like this would be a very large and time-consuming task. Let's take a look at some of the options for managing changing requirements in Kovair. Kovair offers multiple options for controlling when versioning takes place. For any entity, we can turn versioning off, never creating a new version, or we can manually decide when to version an item, or automatically create a new version based on changes made to one or more fields. A version comparison feature is built in, allowing us to easily see how a requirement has changed. Text that has been inserted, changed, or removed is highlighted. Kovair supports cloning, branching, and merging of requirements. This functionality can be thought of as very similar in concept to working with code branches in an SCM tool. Cloning and branching allow us to easily reuse requirements, both create a new item ID, but by using the branching option, We have the added benefit of being able to trace back and compare our variant with the original version of the requirement. When cloning, you'll notice that we also have the option of cloning related items. The relations can also be copied, giving us a quick and easy method of reuse. One way of viewing and working with relations is through the relation matrix. The arrows in the matrix symbolize the direction of impact for the relations between items. The lightning bolt symbol indicates that an impact has occurred. In other words, the upstream item has been changed and the downstream item now needs to be updated. We can create and remove relations, clear impacts, and open items directly from the relation matrix. Traceability View allows us to see multi-level traceability relations. Unlike the traceability matrix, which is by its two-dimensional nature limited to at most two entities, Traceability View allows us to drill through multiple levels and entities. This traceability view allows us to see the complete chain between customer requirements, their derived requirements, test cases, test steps, test runs, and the defects generated. A third way of working with traceability in Kovair is through the relation diagram. The relation diagram provides a great way to visualize the relationship between requirements as well as other artifacts. Items can be opened directly from the relation diagram. And the diagram itself can be expanded simply by clicking on one of the nodes. We will now cover workflow processes in Kovair. You'll see a number of tasks that have been created for our user, Bill Manager. The task's title reflects the source item it was generated from, as well as the activity required. Let's take a look at the process this task was generated from. Here is a simple requirements process. The process always begins from the start node. Processes may be started manually, automatically on submitting a new item, or based on some more advanced conditions by using our policy engine. You may notice that the process includes some activities that happen in parallel. Kovair uses a task-based engine, which allows it to model real-life processes better than a state-based approach can. Processes are designed through a visual drag-and-drop designer, and entities can have multiple processes at once. For example, you may have an entirely different process applied to customer requirements versus technical ones. Currently, the highlighted node indicates that there is an outstanding task here. You'll notice in parentheses under the name Review is the role Reviewer. This indicates the role of the users that will be assigned tasks. In this case, the task is assigned to the first person from the group that works on it, but collaborative tasks are also possible. For instance, you may need approval from a requirement review panel, and 80% of the members need to approve the requirement for it to move forward. I'll switch back to the task list, complete my task. Notice that the fields from the item to be worked on are displayed directly in the task window. I'll change the status of this particular requirement to approved and save and complete my task. Since my filter is for all open tasks, the task has been removed from the list. I'll refresh the process diagram, and you can see that now it has moved on to the next node. Thanks for watching our quick tour of requirements management in Kovair. For more information and resources like this one, please visit us at www.kovair.com.